As the only professional theater in East Texas, Texas Shakespeare Festival is the prime attraction for the locals, but it also pulls a sizable audience from a hundreds of miles radius. Fond memories of intricate light and sound design, beautifully crafted costumes, and passionately performed enactments of some of literature's finest works of theatrical genius have lived in the minds of the theater patrons of East Texas for the last 25 years. Most who attend this festival are fully aware of the quality of the productions provided. Very few, however, comprehend the extensive level of precision and the massive workload that precedes the opening night of the East Texas cultural mainstay.
Her hand, when with his knees he kissed the Grecian strand. But I will charm him first upon the heart of the other heart.
In 1985, actually, I was sitting here in the summer doing nothing and bored stiff. And I thought, it's such a shame that this lovely theater, it is a nice theater facility, sits here empty all summer. About that time, I had a phone call from a woman in town who's the local chairman of the sesquicentennial celebration. So she said, well, I have an idea. Have you read the book, The Last Boom by Clark and Hal Booty? And I said, never heard of it. Well, you need to read it. It's a play just waiting to be written, she said. It's about the discovery of the East Texas oil field in 1930. And, of course, that's the favorite topic of anybody who is in this area. And I think you should write a play based on that book and have your students do it in the summer of 1986 and let that be Kilgore College's contribution to the sesquicentennial celebration. And during that process, I began to think, you know, it would be more interesting if instead of using Kilgore College theater students to do this play in the summer, which I may not be able to recruit anyway without paying them or giving them credit, if I could get maybe graduate students or even some young professional actors to come. I know it'll cost more, but it might be more interesting. And besides that, they'll be more prone to come to Kilgore in the summer if I do something in addition to this local history play they've never heard of. What if I added Shakespeare to it? And we did A Midsummer Night's Dream, Twelfth Night, and the new original history play, which we called The Daisy Bradford 3. And much to my surprise, we sold out every single performance of all three shows.
You know, the costume shop, they build everything basically from, you know, a bolt of fabric. An idea conceived in their head of what the costume should look like according to the history of that time, of the era, the period that, you know, that the play is set in.
I'm making all the accessories for the show, so this is a little maid's cap. I was trying to sneak onto someone else's machine. I don't get one of my own. I'm from Chicago. I did one not that long ago that is in a similar period to Beau's stratagem called Dangerous Liaisons. But a lot of times it's things that are... That's my fitting.
Hello, I have I've been looking online on your website, and I can't seem to understand. If I need to order something from you, can I do that through the website? Or do I
Yeah, the other ones were.
Because like I say, it is an act of Congress to buy this stuff. I can't get any because there's no store near us that has it. So this is for a university, it's for a college, Kilgore College, which is about 2 hours east of Dallas. No, I mean, we're trying to buy dance rubber, which you put on the bottom of shoes so that people don't slip. But to find someone that sells it and that will sell to us is very difficult. So I'm talking to someone in California, to Hector. So that is what I'm doing. The challenge of doing the Texas Shakespeare Festival is to get all the stuff here, to get all of the supplies and equipment and everything that we need here to, this little town in the middle of the piney woods of East Texas. So it takes a little doing, but it can be done. So that's what I'm doing.
Cutting out a mock-up for one of the fittings. It's a skirt, and I just needed this space since it's such large pieces, and so this was an available space to work on.
This is my 9th season, yeah. So I've been here since I was a student at Kilgore College, back in the 80s. Plus we have an actor that missed a fitting, so we had to go find him, which happens occasionally. Yes, it's a big deal because everything is so tightly scheduled that if someone misses a call or something goes wrong, then you really feel it towards the end of the preparations before we open. So any little slight miscalculation really throws things off, yeah.
Do we have time for him now, or we got somebody coming at 4:30?
We have someone coming at 4:45.
All right, let's do it.
I apologize profusely.
You got a black mark
I know.
next to your name.
I know. Breathe in. I know. Thank you.
All right, do it.
We started, and we have to make you wait till after for the second half.
Great.
Ring the bell when you're ready.
Yep.
So you've got to do a lot of...
In the beginning, it was a very small company. I think there were 42 people total. That included all the actors, the directors, the designers, all the technicians, and me. So it was a very small scale. And each year, the company grew in size, and the cost of the festival grew. But Kilgore College seemed to be pleased to have the festival as a cultural event in the area.
For Taming of the Shrew, there needs to be a lute, and it later is broken over someone's head, and since we don't want to break our actual lute, we're making a broken lute.
Misery! No, it's not that bad. Once you get used to it, you have to figure out how to breathe in a different way. You sort of have to breathe from down below and make sure you have room for your ribs to still expand while you're in it. But yeah, they're very, very tight, and it feels very odd. I'm also going to put on my skirt. No, that's good. It was tighter the other day, and I was having trouble getting enough breath for my lines.
Placing myself into a corset at the moment here. This is for bow stratagem, so it's a early 18th century corset.
finding your true self within yourself is the only sure guide to happiness. Our couples here can attest as much.
Wait, I come with a cut. I come with a cut, which then follows up. Go up through there. I think. That follows up through there. What? No! Judgment?
This has just been put up in the last couple of days, so it's very new to a lot of people. It feels good to me because I've been here several years and I know most all the people in those pictures. And as soon as I see them, I just brings back all those memories after all the years, seeing these people again. Plus, it's always interesting to see the actor's headshot versus the reality of what they actually look like.
Better or worse?
Well, that's a great question. So, generally the headshot is to, some people think, to promote how good you can look. I seem to think it should be a picture of exactly what you look like, because that's what you're trying to get hired as,
Crazy. It was. We had double Earnest in Love, which is music and text and woo, greatness. And then we had a company meeting.
Yes.
Which, was fun. We get to see everyone.
And then we go over our company meeting, so then rehearsal has to be extended past the normal time.
Right. And then we had a taming of the shrew rehearsal directly after that.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow morning, we have another taming of the
At
shrew.
9 a.m. And we're doing a run, our first run, which is
Of the whole
always
show.
the most tiring run.
And then we have paper tech.
It was just sort of come downtown, meet the actors, meet the company, go shopping downtown at all these great places that are now popping up downtown Kilgore, all the little restaurants and little boutiques and whatnot, and just sort of like come see what's going on here in the summer. You try different things to reach different people. Some people, this festival's been here 26 years and there's still people in Kilgore that don't know it's here. So you try to do different things to reach a different person to find out, there's a whole audience in this direction that doesn't know we're here and we need to get to them.
Everything good? And then we'll come out down south.
Okay, you ready? Oh, you look like a big sunflower.
One of the fun things about working on the festival these 26 years has been meeting all the people who have come through. Most of them young people. Several of them have grown up and matured into accomplished theater artists, some of whom you would recognize. For instance, a young actor named Seamus Dever, whom we met in Los Angeles at one of our auditions there, plays a detective in a series called Castle. We hired a man named Glenn Kessler. Glenn went on to write some of the scripts with his brother for The Sopranos. And now he and his brother Todd are co-creators of a popular TV series called Damages that stars Glenn Close, Danny Pino in 1997. He went on to play Desi Arnaz in the television movie about Lucy and Desi, and a couple of other small jobs in television until he got the role of one of the detectives in a series called Cold Case, and now he's moving on to play a detective in Law and Order SVU. Michael C. Hall, who starred in a television show on HBO called 6 Feet Under, and then moved into his current show, which is called Dexter, and has won Golden Globe Awards and been nominated for Emmy Awards, and is probably the most famous former employee.
But remember that we want to start earlier.
Set of curtains together.
Energized. Bigger, faster, funnier.
That's right. Louder, louder.
Pace!
I remember her well. Wanted to be ravished. We had to keep denying her.
Not for me! Aye, sir. But while the grass grows, the proverb is something musty. Oh!
Easily coax, boil winch, which shall be your opening as the saying goes.
Father! And this for the break, friend.
So, what's a house without friends?
The artist actor who shares his precious life moments live with you on stage as you're dying, bearing his most personal interior parts with you, showing that with you, hoping for approval and understanding, knowing you may not receive either, because he has to. How else to put it? You have to. It's not a choice you make. It's something you have to do. It's impermanent. It's fleeting, like life. And without even thinking those thoughts, you make those connections as you're watching a live performance. This is like life. Not only is it life being portrayed on stage, but it passes like life. It cannot be recalled. The moment passes and the moment's gone. And it won't ever be repeated again, ever. You might make the comparison of a movie and a play, make the analogy of a silk flower and a real flower. They're not the same. The real flower is alive, whatever that means. Well, what it means is it's dying. And that's profound. There's nothing profound about a silk flower. It's beautiful, perhaps, but it's not awesome. The theater is that way.